In 1970, Dr. Ron Pratty and Dr. Alan Hull created a plan and secured funding to build and manage a dialysis facility in Dallas, Texas. In June of 1971, this vision was realized as the 5th limited care facility in the United States opened its door under the name of Southwestern Dialysis Center. Since that time, the name was changed to Dallas Nephrology Associates, or DNA, and this dream has grown into one of the nation's leading and largest groups of practicing nephrologists. In October of 2011, physicians, nurses, staff, and friends, old and new, gathered together at the Omni Hotel to reminisce and to celebrate the commitment, challenges, growth, and success that they have experienced over the past 40 years.
I have known DNA since 1971, June of 1971, when I started with them as a nurse, and I retired from there in 1999.
What got me first into dialysis? It was the only place I could get a job, Jan, so, I took what came along.
Started with Dallas Nephrology about 29 years ago. Started as an innocent physician, doing all the work that I was told to do. But every day has been a blessing. You learn a lot. Most important thing for any physician is to care. It's not just how much you know, it's how much you care.
I think transplantation has made enormous strides. When we were first starting doing transplants in the early 70s, we had a 50% failure rate. And now the success rate is well above 95%.
The evening began with handshakes and hugs over drinks and hors d'oeuvres, and progressed to fun, prizes, and honored speakers.
You should have received a ticket when you came in, but this is a ticket for one of 5 prizes that we have tonight.
Well, good evening. Thank you for being here. There's a lot of years here of dialysis, and these are the people that started dialysis here. Nobody else did. So you should feel proud to be with so many important guests. DNA currently has what I consider some of the best directors there is. That's the story. There's a group of girls here that I think collectively maybe like 200 years in DNA.
I am amazed at seeing so many old friends, colleagues, who seriously have made my career, and I truly appreciate that. I'm going to cover just the early days of DNA. Well, first off, no one knew anything about dialysis. The fact that you either dialyzed or died hadn't seemed to make the headlines, and so it was very hard to find patients. But we began to find them, and we had a wonderful set of people. Then they were the key to the rise of DNA. I say that sincerely, and it's true.
Many of us were there in those times when we were not getting any money at the dialysis centers, and I know that our doctors did without a lot, and I'm sure their families did too. But I do remember that when Medicare finally did start paying, we all got a bonus, and it was just, it made us feel so special that they needed the money too, and they needed to pay bills, but they made sure that all of us got something for sticking around, and they told us all along the way what was going on and how tough it was, and it just instilled all kinds of loyalty in us, and we loved them, and we still love them. We just thank you so much.
The Dallas Nephrology, from its inception, was a representative of quality, of doing the very best, the highest standard that could be brought to the patient's bedside, to the dialysis unit, to the clinic. And that standard is what really has made the organization survive and live on. So it's a great pleasure to be here with you. Madeline and I greatly appreciate the invitation to join you. Dallas Nephrology created one of the high points in my professional life, and I'm so pleased to be able to share a moment of it here with you this evening. Thank you.
One of the things that happened in the nation was on the dialysis side, everybody looked at Dallas to see what is Dallas doing? How is Dallas doing it? And one of the many reasons this happened, a particular one is Dr. Tom Parker. So Tom, please.
So this is the question I pose to you tonight. What is the aim of DNA and where are you going? I don't know about you, but I ask you, what is that question? Is it to simply practice medicine and take care of patients daily? That's a laudable goal in and of itself. That perhaps is sufficient. Is it to provide a living for employees, including yourselves? There's nothing wrong with that. But I ask, is there a more noble object that you strive for? My hope for you is that you're doing more than just practicing medicine. My hope is that indeed you're pollinating the world with what you collectively accomplish every single day. Thank you very much.
40 years is a long time. And when we do this again in 40 more years, I hope you remember tonight.